Circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man? Circumstances made me what I am. Everyone should know. May sound strange, might sound foolish, but things are getting better. Every day another fall victim to the beretta. Why is there so much violence killing with one another? Let us learn to love and let that light shine brighter. Bad influence you influence the youth and get slaughtered. As bad man used to be the respected father. It's like your eyes don't realize the times get harder. Me talk and night without me might and still is laughter. Circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man? Circumstances made me what I am. And everyone should know. Him say, when I try to cope, tell myself there is hope. It seems like the biggest joke. And as I put down the gun, still the last must run. I know when blind men can't come. And me a jam and a cool one go back in a school. The system lick me. There's no hope for those who have not from the slum. Take the little much we have still hunting me down. I beg to show some love. When we get back, he replies, circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man? Circumstances made me what I am. And everyone should know. Well, I know little cry, mama cry, papa cry too. She want the boy with a heart and that couldn't do. You know that find him dead with a Smith and Wesson. 6 weeks and change now. Me and miss. Why so much violence? Too much violence. It hurts my soul and I won't keep silent. Circumstances made me what I am. That was his reply, I cry. Circumstances made me what I am. Everyone should know. May sound strange, might look foolish, but things are getting better. Every day another fall victim to the beretta. Why is there so much violence killing me one another? Let us learn to love and let that light shine brighter. Bad influence you influence the youth and get slaughtered. As bad man used to be the respected father. It's like no eyes don't realize the times get harder. I talk and night with all my might and still is laughter. Circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man? Circumstances made me what I am. And everyone should know now. And when I try to cope, tell myself there is hope. It seems like the biggest joke. And as I put down the gun, collateral must run. I know when blind men can't come. And me a think about cool one go back in a school. The system lick me. There's no hope for those who have not from the slum. Take the little much we have, still hunting we done. How do we show some love? How do we get back some now? Circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man? Circumstances made me what I am. Every man should know. Oh, circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man?
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my brothers and sisters. Good afternoon. You are listening to The Proven Truth. You are tuned into The Proven Truth with your brother and host, Anthony Brown. Coming to you live from the studios of Radio Gumbo Creole here in the beautiful territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. Here in the beautiful territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. Family, as usual, it's another God-given day. It's another God-given day, another beautiful day here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. Look, depending on where you are, you know, on the West Bank, you know, there's some amount of rain. On the east side, not so much. But it doesn't matter whether or not it's raining or not. We give our God thanks to give us the privilege to see this day. we give our God the thanks and the glory so that we could see this day. That's how appreciative we are. Again, family, good afternoon. You are listening to the Proven Truth with your brother and host Anthony Brown, coming to you live from the studio of Radio Gumbo Creole. And as usual, we encourage you to participate in the show. We encourage you to let your voice be heard. We don't edit, nor block, nor refuse from accepting any calls on this program. This platform was created for we, the people, so that our voice could be heard. When the local media and the mainstream media refuse from acknowledging we, the people, are giving us a platform, we went ahead, we saw it fit and necessary for us to create our own platform or media house. Hence, here we have the Proven Truth. So my brothers and sisters, to participate, to let your voice be heard, feel free to call us 504-303-8922. Again, that number is 504-303-8922. You can also listen to us from your device of choice by dialing 712-432-7883. Again, you can listen to us by dialing 712-432-7883. You can also check us out on the web by going to www.radiogumbocreole.net. That's www.radiogumbocreole.net. That's RadioGumbocreole.net. We live stream this and every show on the Facebook. We live stream this and every show on the Facebook. You can join us on the Facebook. You can participate on the Facebook by going to Anthony Brown for Assessor 2017. Again, that's Anthony, ANTHONY, Brown, BROWN, for FORASSESSOR 2017. We also live stream this broadcast on the YouTube. We are also live streaming on the YouTube. You can check us out on the YouTube. You can participate. You can leave a comment. You can be a live guest on any one of these platforms. On the YouTube is you can go on to the Proven Truth. That's the THEPROVEN Truth. And you can participate there as well. You can participate there as well. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. The United States of America Constitution, family, still in full force and effect, despite what the corrupt politicians would like you to believe or think. All government of rights originates with the people, is founded on their will alone, and is instituted to protect the rights of the individual and for the good of the whole, its only legitimate ends are to secure justice for all, preserve peace, protect the rights, and promote the happiness and general welfare of the people. The Louisiana Constitution of 1974, still in full force and effect, and as always, I encourage my brothers and sisters, I encourage the listening audience all over North America to at least get a copy, or at least go online and Google these documents. Take 10-15 minutes out of your day and just read these documents. These documents are important documents. Within these documents, there is information for we the people to remind ourselves of these documents, why we the people create these documents, and for who we create these documents. You would believe that these documents have no relevance with here in the United States of America. We want all men to know we shall maintain and contend for freedom and equality of every man, woman, and child of our race, with our lives, our fortune, and our secret honor. Let me read that one more time. We want all men to know we shall maintain and contend for freedom and equality of every man, woman, and child of our race, with our lives, our fortunes, and our secret honor. Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Reading from the selective writing and speeches of Marcus Garvey. This ancestor, opinions and philosophy. Now, brothers and sisters, as you all know, here on the Proven Truth, we are black conscious, not black ignorant. As you all know, we are black conscious, not black ignorant. We are fully aware that it is because champions, it is because of our ancestors, some to which we know and some to which we don't even know the names, but it's because of champions, our ancestors, people that came before us, why a lot of us could be exercising the rights and the privilege that we are so doing today, that a lot of us can sit in public office and toot our horns, brush our shoulders off, and speak as if we are doing jack. It is because of champions before us, my brothers and sisters, that you can have Anthony Brown sit here today, the host of the Proven Truth, talking to my brothers and sisters all over the diaspora. We have people listening to us, to this program, all over the Caribbean, from Jamaica to Haiti to Trinidad and Tobago. We have people listening to this program. And to my brothers and sisters all over the diaspora, we say much love. We say much love. We say much love. When we talk about our ancestors, my brothers and sisters, we are talking about the likes of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. It is amazing to know that black people, how many black people aren't aware or knowledgeable of this brother right here, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. We are living in the 21st century, 2018, where because of the technology, information is at our fingertips. And I got brothers and sisters who stop me. Now, mind you, listen to what I'm saying carefully. I don't mind spitting to you some history or some knowledge about any one of these ancestors who I am making mention of on a daily basis. But I'm saying the onus is on you, my brothers and sisters, to be fully aware or knowledgeable about these ancestors right here, so that you can pass that knowledge to your offspring. I don't mind. Look, and a matter of fact, to be honest with you, I'm encouraged and I appreciate the fact that you do ask about these ancestors. I appreciate that fact. But the onus is also on you, my brothers and sisters, to do your own research, so that the next time we speak, we can speak from a place of knowledge. And so also that you can pass that information on to your offspring, so that future generation can teach it to their offspring. Knowing what we know about history and the fact that the historians doctored, hide, misinform the true history of the black people. We talk about a Marcus Mosiah Garvey. We make mention of a Nanny from the Maroon, a Paul Bogle, a Fred Hamilton, a Maurice Bishop, Malcolm X, a Carter G. Wilson, a Harriet Tubman, that beautiful sister who made the statement that if a lot more black people were recognize the fact that they were slaves, she could have freed a lot more. That beautiful black sister. A Thomas Sankara, a Somoral Makel, a Bookman Juti, a Toussaint Louverture, a Jack Dessalines. Now again, my brothers and sisters, this is just a few of our ancestors that I personally choose to make mention of on a day-to-day basis. You can go there and create your own list, and you can call us and share it with us. Again, you may have someone in mind who you think that we need to honor or make reference to. You can call us, you can email us, you can Facebook us, you can whatever. You can reach out to us and you can tell us about that ancestor and what that ancestor did during their lifetime that would uplift and that continue to uplift the black race as we know it. Now, my brothers and sisters, we here in the territory of New Orleans, we are living in the territory of New Orleans, the most politically corrupt territory within the Union. The most politically corrupt territory within the Union. We have been saying for some time, and we will continue to say, as long as it remains factual. We have been saying for some time that when you walk inside these courtrooms that's supposed to dispense justice, you won't get justice. You will get injustice. And we, for some time now, have been speaking about one particular branch of government, and rightfully so. We recognize that the judicial branch is that branch that we the people create. So that if we have a situation, or a situation faces us where we need arbitrator, we need justice, we need a third party arbitrator, we need a referee. That is the branch of government that we seek, or that we go to get justice, my brothers and sisters. So we have a third party person who call themselves a judge, who look on the both side. So it doesn't matter whether or not you are the plaintiff or you are the defendant. If you are the one who bring in the complaint, that third party person gonna look on what you present in front of that court, and gonna also look on what the defendant present, and based on facts and reality, render justice. And it doesn't matter if the parties are both private sector parties, or one party is from the private sector, from we the people, and the other party is a branch or form a branch of government. That's not the requirement or the prerequisite. Justice supposed to be rendered in these courthouses despite the political connection of either party. Now, my brothers and sisters, we all know that's wishful thinking. We all know that's wishful thinking here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. We all know, based on our experience, that's not the case. We all know, here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, we have corrupt politicians. We have people in office that we the people is giving a salary to on a monthly basis to conduct our affairs, who these people are totally not attending to our affairs, but their own personal affairs. We're gonna be playing for you in a short while a couple clips, and we're gonna be exposing the fact that we have judges. Now listen to me carefully, my brothers and sisters. Listen to me carefully, because this is something we need to talk about. This is an issue we need to talk about. If you take sick and you go to the doctor, and the doctor said, look, I'm not going to take care of you. I'm not going to take care of you. Or the doctor say, look, to take care of you, I'm going to charge you $1,000. Something that supposed to cost, let's say, $100. If you go to the doctor and the doctor is getting paid from, let's say, Medicare or from your insurance company, and the doctor turns around and take more money from you after getting paid from your insurance company or from Medicare or for whatever entity it is. What would you think or say about that doctor? Would you just keep quiet? Would you just succumb to the extortion from the doctor? No. I'm not going to say if the doctor is doing it, it's right. But let's say the doctor is doing it, and again, this is just a scenario. Again, I'm trying to communicate with my brothers and sisters, so I'm making reference to which you may understand where I'm coming from. I'm not saying if the doctor is doing it, the doctor wouldn't know, because that doctor have a common sense and a basic instinct to know that that is wrong. Right? But when we have members of the judiciary, that branch of government, people who supposed to know the law, who is committing theft, who is robbing people, what must we say and what must we do, my brothers and sisters? We have been talking about on this show a gentleman by the name of Errol G. Williams for some time. Errol G. Williams is an imposter sitting in the office of the Orleans Parish tax assessor, robbing people of what is rightfully theirs, their property, and doing so with willful and malicious intent. But the thing about Mr. Williams, to which, like it or not, you have to give him credit, is that he have balls. He got balls. And apparently, a couple of big peers too. Mr. Williams didn't hide it. My brothers and sisters, Mr. Williams did not hide it. Or, a matter of fact, he was bold enough to tell us in a written document that, look, I hear you talking. I see your lips moving. I get all your correspondence and your documents. And you can sue me in court as much as you want. But this is what I have to tell you, Mr. Brown, and anybody else. I don't give a rat's ass about the Louisiana Constitution. I don't give a rat's ass about property rights law. And I sure to hell don't give a rat's ass about the meaning of word. And he signed the document. He signed the document. Now, again, this is an elected official here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. This is the person who is getting a salary from we the people for the past 30 years, to the point where he's bragging about his multi-car garage he's building out there and his mansion out there in New Orleans. He's a person who took an oath of office, have a fiduciary duty to we the people. And he's telling us, he told us on black and white. So I don't care less. No, at least this criminal is bold enough to do that. Now, why do you think that he's bold enough to do this? Why do you think this elected official, this politician, could be bold enough to give us a document telling us that, look, I'm going to keep on robbing your property. and there is nothing you can goddamn do about it. And you can take me to court as much as you like. Try and see what's going to happen. Why do you think he had the galls to do that? I'm going to tell you, brothers and sisters. Because he knew that it doesn't matter which judge we end up in front of. It doesn't matter which person or which person calling themselves a judge we end up in front of in civil district court. It wouldn't matter. Why? Because Harold G. Williams is fully aware that these so-called judges have the same mindset and is operating off of the same agenda as him. He's fully aware that they are criminals, imposter in office too. Every single goddamn judge sitting there in the civil district court. Right? Now, we end up facing or bringing suit in Division N, Orleans Parish Civil District Court, in front of this criminal, calling herself a judge, Ethelyn Sims Julian. Harold G. Williams, no. That look, yeah. You take your black horse and you go try. And he was right. Here we have, look. We know that we the people have no authority over a LLC. We know that we the people have no authority over a limited liability corporation. That's why we the people form this thing we call, or this entity we call government, and that's why we elect politicians or our representative to represent our interests. So, can we blame a civic source when civic source operate outside their portfolio and authority? When they are doing so with the blessings of elected officials like Harold G. Williams, at the time Mitch J. Landreau, and every single goddamn corrupted judge in the territory of New Orleans. Can we blame a civic source? Even if you try to sue civic source, they're gonna end up, and they know, in front of criminal like Ethelyn Sims Julian, the person calling herself a judge. Now, again, family, we call these people criminal because they're not specially criminal. Here it is in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, my brothers and sisters. We have judges. Now, there's a reason why we read this document every single day before we start this program. And there's a reason why we read Article 1, Section 1 of this document. Because we want to remind those public officials who and why, for what reason did we institute government. That's why we read the document. Now, here we have people calling themselves judges. Judges. People who will brag to you and tell you about the years of being a member of the Bar Association. Brag and tell you about the law degree. Brag and tell you about the institution to which they went for 3 or 4 years, or how much years to be indoctrinated to become a member of the Bar Association. Here we have people calling themselves, using the title of judge, to which we know that they ain't no goddamn judge. A matter of fact, we know that in the 1700s, according to the United States Supreme Court, these people calling themselves judges ain't judges. Why? Because they are not rendering justice, or they are not abiding by the Constitution. When you go inside these courts, my brothers and sisters, listen to me carefully. When you go inside these courts, when these district attorneys and these U.S. attorneys and whoever attorneys charge you for a crime, the crime is not coming, or the authority from the crime is not coming from the Constitution, from the United States Constitution, or for whichever territory you are in. Let me say it again, and let me say that slowly so you can understand. You can go and check and verify for yourself. When you are charged with a crime, or an alleged crime, or whatever you want to call it, or when a member, when any of these police department charge you, the charge is based upon what you call a revised statute, some revised statute, watered down version of the Constitution, some penal code, some ordinance, right? All of those documents that they are charging you with are documents created by the municipal corporation, right? Or by the municipal corporation, or by some other authority, some other legislative authority. It's not coming from the Constitution. And in many cases, what we call case laws, the United States Courts justices outline to us that these people are not judges. What they are executive administrators, because they are merely operating, or they are merely enforcing the policies of the corporation. The corporation could be a state corporation or a local government corporation. Here we have judges in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, who are taking advantage of people who found love and decide that, look, we're going to tie the knot. We're going to get married. Let's go to these courthouses and let's get married. Now, family, I'm going to play for you. I think I'm going to play this clip so you guys can hear this for yourself. Then we can go and we make our commentary and on this clip. But what you're going to find happen is, here we have judges who know they cannot claim ignorance to this fact. They are judges, and they know that they have no legal authority to be charging. Where they do have the authority to charge, it's written in the law the amount that they can charge. But here we have judges charging way in excess the amount of money that they have the authority to charge people, right? Way in excess. And not only that they charge them in excess, they are doing it and pocketing that money, that revenue. What do you call that? It's theft. So we have judges on the job that we the people are paying, right? And they're on the job robbing us, we the people, blind. Follow what I'm saying? They're on the job robbing us, we the people, blind. Okay? Now, let's play this clip and you will hear it for yourself. Let's give us a second to run this. Hold on, family. Hold on 1 second. I think we're having a little technical difficulty here. Let me back up a bit. Let me see what's going on. Okay, I figured it out.
Tonight we have one who says a judge's fee almost doubled because she wanted to get married in the most
Let's back up.
Concerns they may be improperly pocketing public money.
Yeah, our investigation found 4 New Orleans City Court judges charging couples more than the law allows to perform marriages in their courtrooms. Tonight we meet one New Orleanian who says a judge's fee almost doubled because she wanted to get married on the most romantic day of the year. Erin Earl wanted a quaint, intimate wedding. A friend told her about Second City Court, the Algiers courthouse. Her fiance picked the date.
He said, well, let's just do it Valentine's Day 2018. Great, let's do that.
So she called the office of Judge Tina Anderson Trahan, and her unfortunate experience began.
The clerk was very rude.
Days before the wedding, the judge's staff mistakenly sent her to the East Bank to get additional paperwork. Then on the wedding day, the judge was late.
There were other families showing up. Well, we all had a 1 o'clock appointment because the judge's door was closed. No one came out or said anything, just said, they would return at 1:30.
The line of Valentine's brides became impatient.
The brides are literally sweating their makeup out because it's so hot.
What happened next made Earl and her soon-to-be husband even hotter. State law allows these judges to charge just $5 for a wedding in the courthouse. Typically, Judge Anderson Trahan charges $100, but not this day.
I asked why I was being charged $180, and I was told because it was a holiday. It was Valentine's Day. And I said, well, I was not aware that Valentine's Day was a true holiday. And she said, well, that's our fee.
Anderson Trahan and the city court judges have been pocketing that money. Legal experts say that's against the law. Earl started asking the other brides what they paid.
Another couple said that they were charged more.
How much more?
They were charged over $200.
Earl thought the fee would be lower, closer to the $100 that's normally charged. So relatives had to help her scrounge together the extra money.
That seems very shady.
And when she asked for a proof of payment,
they don't give receipts. They only deal in cash.
The judges, who are also elected officials, refused our request for an on-camera interview.
These judges are getting money. They are getting funding into their pocket for work they are performing, which they are delegated to perform by statute in the courtroom as a judge. And it's just inexplicable to me.
After our story aired, we wanted to know if they were still keeping the wedding money as additional compensation and if they were still charging more than the law allowed. They all told us no comment.
I mean, these are judges, right? These are not taxi drivers. These are not waiters, right? They don't get paid by the job. They don't get tips. Because if that starts to be the process, then where does it end? Why is the performing of this judicial function any different than every other judicial function that they perform, whatever that is? What's the difference?
This week, a producer called the offices of all 4 judges. Judge Anderson Trahan's secretary told us they've stopped performing weddings and referred us to Jefferson Parish. Judge Angelique Reed's secretary also said they weren't scheduling weddings. Judge Veronica Henry's office got our number and said they would call us back. They never did. And according to the person who answered the phone in Judge Monique Morial's office, she still charges $80 and is still scheduling weddings.
There's no accountability. There's no oversight.
Aaron Earl wants to know if the judges have been paying taxes on this extra money and says something needs to happen to these 4 people who were elected to hold others accountable to the laws of this state.
I think there should be some type of investigation. I think there should be some type of legal action. And I think there should at least be an apology to the brides and the families over the course of the years. I don't know how long this has been going on, that, you know, on behalf of the city, that this shouldn't have happened. That we should not have been taken advantage of just because we were in the midst of a joyous occasion.
Before our first story aired, we asked each judge if they reported 100% of the income they received to the IRS. A spokesperson told us only fees are reported by each judge.
My brothers and sisters, this is what we are talking about. This is what we are talking about. Here we have judges. Judges. Now these are the people. These are the people that are convicting or rendering time, or giving people time, or passing down sentence and people for committing crimes. Just think about this for a second. We have judges, people who weren't supposed to know the law and uphold the law. And these are the very same people who are robbing people and committing malfeasance in office. Now, and they are doing it for what? A financial gain. They are doing it for a financial gain. What's the difference between what these people are doing, right, than if you go down on Bourbon Street and somebody put a gun to your head and ask you to give them all your money? What's the difference? There's no difference, my brothers and sisters. The only difference is one person is being real with you. One person is actually being real with you. One person is putting that gun to your head and say, man, look, I'm here to rob you. One person say, man, look, give me your goddamn money, and if you don't give me your money, I'm going to kill your ass. So one person is being real with you. You know from the get-go. So there and then you can make a decision. Look, let me give this robber, because you know that this guy is a robber now. Let me give this robber my money so that maybe he may show me some mercy and don't shoot me. But here we have, over here, these persons dressed in black gowns have clerks, of people who dress like sheriffs and people who work with these police departments, who carry firearms and handcuffs, call themselves judges. Here we have people call themselves judges, right? Doing the same thing that that guy who put the gun to your head on Bourbon Street is doing, and getting away with it, and nobody ain't calling them out. They're criminals. Judge? Judge what? They are criminals. They know. Look, the Constitution, family, the law, their law, matter of fact, because you can go and see the same these same laws in the revised statute. When you go and read the revised statute, the language ain't ambiguous. It's clear and plain. My 2-year-old son could understand it if he read it. If you're gonna charge, the minimum you can charge a person is $5. No more than $5. Where the law requires or authorizes these criminals to charge a fee, that fee can only be $5. Now here we have these criminals calling themselves judges, charging in some case in excess of $200. And why? Because you want to get married on Valentine's Day. So they charge themselves way in excess of $200. Charging people way in excess of $200. Now this criminal calling herself a judge, Tina Anderson Trehan, Algiers courthouse, she ain't a goddamn judge. She's a criminal. I pray to God I'll see her one day on the street. I pray I see her in the street one day. I'll see her in the courtroom one day. I pray I see her one day. Judge? Judge who or judge what? She's supposed to be disbarred, locked behind bars, and any pension that she's looking for or entitled to be revoked. Tina Anderson Trehan, she ain't a judge. Here she is, robbing people on the job, committing malfeasance in office. Here she is. Not only the fact that she's committing the crime, she's pocketing the money. She is putting money in her pocket. She's subsidizing her salary that we the people paying her. Where is the outcry? Where is the outcry? Now let me show you something, family. We're talking about the judiciary right now. The judicial branch of government. We're talking about people calling themselves judges. Here in the territory of Louisiana, the Louisiana Supreme Court, the highest court within this territory, we have a person by the name of Burnett J. Johnson, calling herself the Chief Justice from the 7th District. Calling herself the Chief Justice of the Louisiana Supreme Court. There's nothing chief about her little black ass, nor justice about her neither. She is another one who's supposed to be disbarred, fired, and any pension that she's looking forward to be revoked. This is the reason why it was said by the FBI director here in New Orleans that based on the political corruption that's here in New Orleans, we possess not one but 2 divisions that deals with political corruption. Here in the territory of New Orleans, family, for those of you listening to us all over the United States, we have in the territory of New Orleans, when you have one, we have 2 divisions of the FBI that deals with political corruption. And this is the reason why. Because in every single branch of government here in the territory of Louisiana, we have corrupted politicians. And the Supreme Court of Louisiana, we have a corrupt politician in the likes of Bernadette J. Johnson. As in the legislative branch or in the executive branch, we have a corrupt criminal in the likes of John Bell Edwards. Now look, family, I'm going to go in a short while and I'm going to play a clip for you outlining just that. Now, there's a reporter here. There's an investigative reporter by the name of Lee Zurich with the local Fox media house that do some really deep, in-depth investigation, right? And he just did an investigation that was heard last night about the cronyism, about the theft, about the play, the pay for play by this goddamn guy, John Bell Edwards. There is no branch of government here in the executive, in the legislative branch too. We have people in the legislative branch who are getting a financial gain from being in office, utilizing their office for financial gain. It's widespread. It's a disease. It's a disease. And that's the reason why we have been saying for some time, and we have been telling the rest of America that yes, we recognize we incarcerate the most people within in these territories. However, we have the wrong set of people behind bars. We have criminals criminalizing people and putting them behind bars so they can cover up their criminal conduct. Did you caught that? We have criminals here in the territory of Louisiana who is criminalizing people and putting them behind bars to make it appear as if they are against or they are for criminal justice. What's that? Okay. Okay, family, somebody playing with the switch in the studio. They play. all right. I thought that was somebody from Bernadette Johnson or from John Bellwood's office, but I guess it's just somebody in the studio. We have here in the territory of Louisiana, family, we have criminals sitting on the bench calling themselves judges who is criminalizing the population for things that is not even really a crime. To be honest with you, we have people here going to jail for traffic violations, for goddamn traffic violations. So we have people here spending time in jail or being sanctioned for a traffic violation. We have people here going to jail because they are causing harm, if any, to themselves by taking some type of recreational drugs. Maybe they're smoking some weed or some other, recreational drugs, right? Causing harm not to anybody else or to the general population. If they're causing any harm, it's causing harm to themselves or to their family, right? And we have people who is actually committing crime calling themselves judges are members of the Bar Association who is putting these people over here in prison, telling these people about violation of the revived statute. Follow me. You see the hypocrisy? You see the hypocrisy? We have judges over here, right? Now look, again, I'm the first one to admit it, my brothers and sisters. I didn't attend the institution of indoctrination. I'm not a member of the Bar Association. Neither do I want to be. I'm an honest person. I work for mines. I'm not going to trick anybody or bullshit anybody just so I can feed myself or my family. No. I'm not going to lie to nobody or make a deal behind somebody's back so that I can acquire a financial gain. I won't. And I refuse from doing that. So, here we have this law professor. This law professor is the one who is saying, because look, he's a law professor. If you want to be a member of the Bar Association, you're going to first go to one of these institutions of higher learning where you're going to find law professors like this one and many others who teach you or who indoctrinate you about the revived statute and the procedures and the practice inside these courthouses. And it's this law professor that is saying, man, you're a judge. You ain't a cashier or a taxi driver. No, I don't think he meant to belittle taxi drivers or cashier. I guess what he was saying, I'm not putting words in his mouth, but I guess he was just making a comparison that, look, these people over here ain't a member of the judiciary system, ain't an officer of the court. So if they do it, they can say, well, look, I wasn't aware of the legal consequence. But year over year, you as a judge, you cannot invoke ignorance as an excuse. Here we have judges. Here we have judges. Look, let's make this graphic. Let's make this graphic. Let's say somebody go out and rape your daughter and your wife or your sister. Let's say somebody go out and rape your daughter, your wife, and your sister. Right? And they're going to say to you, look, no, let's change that. Let's change that. Let's change it. Let's give a different example. Let's give a different example. Let's get a different example. We have judges, people who are supposed to uphold the law, who take an oath of office, who have a fiduciary duty, who you go to in a time of needs or weakness, or in this case with these couple, right? In the time, in an enjoyable moment of their life. This for some people is a one-time event. Right? For some people it's a one-time event. They found love and they decide to get married. So it's a joyous moment. And within that joyous moment, here we have judges committing an act of theft upon these people who are about to start a family. You see what we're talking about here, family? This is what we're talking about in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. No, that's why we say we recognize the concept. We recognize why Errol G. Williams can tell us to kiss his ass. because he knew that the same criminal intent that he's exercising, these judges ain't no different. They are exercising the same criminal intent. But the only thing between Errol G. Williams and these so-called judges, he got balls.
Somebody please tell me now. Oh, Master God, world around you. Put the war back and praise God, yeah, me son, tell me now. Oh, Papa Jesus, world around. Make we come together. God the Father soon come. There was a beginning, so there must be an end. Let us build a better day for our grandchildren. And look in our heart and see where we can mend. Where food is concerned, there is a problem. Woman can't find food. Feed the children, while the rich man have the chicken back and feed the dog them. But whoa, be unto them. He who writes against poor people shall perish in the end. Tell me now, oh Master God, world around you. Put the war back and praise God, yeah, me son, we want to know. Oh Papa Jesus, world around. Make we come together. Now the Father soon come. To the poor can't afford the knowledge, them not get none. The rich man have the dollars and no argue with some braggadocio, some bullshit talk. Him a fling down a pair 190 events. Him bring down, sell the most crack, the coke, heroin and opium. Them no want to get to youth, elevate out of the slum. So them give we all type of thing for try turn with them alone fi boogie woogie and have all the fun. Them alone fi have the girls, them and we no fi have none. Tell me now, oh Master God world around, put the war back and praise God, yeah, the sun. Tell me now, oh Papa Jesus world around, make we come together, God the Father soon come. All of them a say who no hear, but you know we now. They will be bowing out here with show. Dollars run the cut, and we want that now. If you no happy or no lovely, make me hear pow pow. To politics, business, gangsta now, about tell me now. Oh Master God world around, put the war back and praise God, yeah, me son, tell me now. Oh Papa Jesus world around, make we come together, God the Father soon come. There was a beginning, so there must be an end. Let us build a better day for our grandchildren. And looking at we at and see where we can make. Where food is concerned, there is a problem. Woman can't find food for your children, while the rich man have the food. I give all them, but you say, whoa, be up to them. Evil rights against poor people shall perish in the end. Tell me now, oh Master God world around, put the war back and praise God, yeah, me son. Tell me now, oh Papa Jesus world around, make we come together, God the Father soon come. To the poor can't afford the knowledge, them not get none. The rich man have the money, I no argue with some braggadocious and bossy talk. Him a fling down a pair 190 events, him bring down. Sell on the most crack, the coke, heroin and opium. Them no want to get to youth, elevate out of the slum. So them give we all type of thing for try turn we down. Them alone fi boogie woogie and have all the fun. Them alone fi have the girls, them and we no fi have none. Tell me now, oh Master God world around, put the war back and praise God, yeah, me son. Tell me now, oh Papa Jesus world around, make we come together, now the Father so come. All the massive who them out to no fi hear, but you know we now. They let me go, we not deal with show. Dollars run the cut, how we want.
Welcome back, family. Welcome back. Welcome back. You are listening to The Proven Truth with your brother and host Anthony Brown. You're listening to The Proven Truth with your brother and host Anthony Brown. Now, family, just before we went to break, we were talking about the cronyism, the corruption of these judges here in the territory of Louisiana. We're talking about the blatant violation and total disregard for the rule of law and the Constitution. We're also talking about the fact that they are utilizing their authority and office for a financial gain. We're also talking about the fact that they claim to be judges, however, they are criminals in disguise. There is a document by which the members of the Louisiana judiciary should abide by or adhere by. It's known as, it's referred to the Code of Judicial Conduct. So there is a document. This code informs these judicial actors of the conduct or of the way that they're supposed to operate or conduct themselves while they are in public office, while we, the people, are taking care of them financially, putting food on their table, attending to their well-being financially and their family. This is the code of judicial conduct. And this code is referred to by canons. So it's the canon code of judicial conduct. Now, I'm just going to read maybe the first 2 or 3 canon for you, so you can understand. Now, this code of judicial conduct, it's similar to the code of ethics that members of the legislative and administrative branch receive. But for the members of the judiciary, they receive a code of conduct, which is the canons code. Now again, your brother ain't preaching law. I'm no goddamn law attorney or professor. But what I do is read. Reading is fundamental. Reading is fundamental. And that's what I do. I recognize my portfolio and my authority as one, the boss. And that's why I can call these so-called judges criminals, because they are criminals. I employ judges. What do I get? I get criminals in return. The Code of Judicial Conduct, Canon Code of Judicial Conduct. This is what it reads. This is the first one. This is Canon 1. It says, a judge shall uphold the integrity and independence of the judiciary. A judge, Canon 1. A judge shall uphold the integrity and the independence of the judiciary. Tell that to that criminal imposter, Orleans Parish, Division N, Ethelyn Sims Julian. Somebody need to get a copy of this document and give it to her, or send it to her via email, or fax it to her. You know something? I just had an epiphany, family. I just had an epiphany a while ago. I think I'm going to fax this document over to this criminal office. Ethelyn Sims Julian. An independent and honorable judiciary is indispensable to justice in our society. Wow! That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love that. An independent and honorable judiciary is indispensable to justice in our society. A judge should participate in establishing, maintaining, and enforcing, and shall personally observe high standards of conduct so that the integrity and independence of the judiciary may be preserved. Period. The provision of this code are to be construed and applied to further that objective. As a necessary collateral, the judge must be protected in the executive and judicial independence. Now, it goes on to give us a commentary of Canon 1, and this is why it says, the word shall is intended to impose binding obligation, the violation of which can result in the disciplinary action. Okay? So, here is Canon 1, saying that an independent and honorable judiciary is indispensable to justice. A judge should participate in establishing, maintaining, enforcing, and personally observing a high standard of conduct. Now, you're going to tell me that these judges who, while they on our time robbing people, is observing a high standard of conduct, or is maintaining and enforcing a principle that society would look on as being just. Canon 2. A judge shall avoid impropriety and the appearance of impropriety in all activities. Go tell it to these judges in New Orleans. A judge shall respect and comply with the law. Family, look, again, it's not Anthony Brown saying that, you know. What the hell do I know about law? I didn't went to the institution of indoctrination. I'm not a part of the bar, that private club, that private organization, that bar association. I'm not. Here is the code of judicial conduct. Go tell Bernadette Johnson that. Go to the Louisiana Supreme Court. Tell that to the Chief Justice, Bernadette J. Johnson. Tell that to Greg Guthrie. Tell that to Scott Cushan. Tell that to James Genoves. Tell that to Marcus Clark. Go tell them that. Tell them that a judge shall avoid the impropriety and the appearance of such. A judge shall respect and comply with the law, and shall act at all times in a manner that promotes public confidence. You hear that? In the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary. No, you tell me that based on what we have seen here and the investigation that was conducted, these judges are abiding by the code of judicial conduct. A matter of fact, we are just referring to them right now as judges, just so everyone can understand what we're talking about. But they ain't no goddamn judge, they're criminals. They are imposters. They are criminals disguising as judge. And that's the reason why we here, the grassroots activists here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, are having an uphill battle to get justice. It's not that we are wrong in our argument. It's not that we are wrong in our approach. We are not wrong in our argument and our approach where we are not getting victory inside these courts. Is that we have criminals disguised as judges inside these courthouses. You think Errol G. Williams, you think Mitch J. Lanjo don't know that these judges are just like them, are like-minded like them? You think they don't know? They're criminals. Family, I'm going to show you, man. It's not unique to the judiciary alone. It's not unique. We have a disease, an infectious disease here in the territory of Louisiana. We have political players, we have politicians in all branches and at all levels who are utilizing the office for a financial gain, who are taking. We have the governor of Louisiana, John Bell Criminal Edwards, the governor who is taking bribe, who is appointing people to office just so that he can get a bribe from them. People who are supposed to be independent, he's appointing people to office so that he can please his donors, people who contribute to his campaign. These people are criminals, my brothers and sisters. What do you think? Look, and this is the same person, you know. Look, for those of you who don't know, you know, right now, the Louisiana legislature is going to what you call a special session. The 6th such session under the administration of John Bell Edwards. Why? Because he's trying to get more money to spend. You see what I'm talking about? I've been saying this for some time. I've been saying this for some time now. The issue that we are having here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, is not that we don't have the revenue, or that we are deficient of revenue, or that there is no money in the kitty. There is money in the kitty, but we have rats protecting our cheese. We have rats here protecting our cheese. We have the likes of a John Bell Edwards as the so-called governor of the territory of New Orleans, of Louisiana. A goddamn criminal who's looking for a financial gain, just like these goddamn criminal judges. We have rats protecting our cheese. Look, family, look, let this investigative reporter, this guy from Fox 8, who did this research for over 7 months. This guy, well named Lee Zori. I'm going to ask Mr. Lee Zori to assist me in making my argument. Look, we are not, look, it is not our will and our intent to call any elected official outside of their name, or to drag their names through the mud or through the dirt. It's not our will and our intent. We are the bosses. We are the one who employ them and put them into public office. They work for us. So it's not our duty. We want to see our employees succeed. But here it is. We employ these people thinking that they are honorable and that they have morals and that they are law-abiding, decent people. Now we are discovering that they trick us, that they breach the contract. The contract with John Bell Edwards is now null and void. The contract with Bernadette Johnson is now null and void. The contract with Greg Grisham, with Scott with Greg G. Guthrie, with Scott J. Christian, with James T. Genovis, with Marcus R. Clark from the Louisiana Supreme Court is now null and void of law. Let's go to the appellant court. Let's go to the appellant court. Let's go to the appellant court. The contract that we had with Chief Judge G.M.F. McKay, with Edwin A. Lombard, with Daniel Dassart, with Rosemary Ladette, with Paula Brown, with Dale Atkins is now null and void of law. They're criminals and we recognize this to be fact. The contract that we had with Errol G. Williams is no good. You see what I'm talking about? Now, family, I'm going to make this investigative journalist outline or make my case for me as it relates to that criminal imposter there in Baton Rouge that called himself the governor, John Bell Edwards.
River pilots donate more money to politicians than most interest groups in the state. that money is paid off. Insiders say they have some of the most generous laws in the country. Those insiders say their political muscle helped them hijack a state board. Here's our new investigation.
Interesting.
We've uncovered a never-before-seen letter.
This is news to me.
That could explain one reason a handful of well-connected Louisianians can earn more than $500,000 a year.
Something's wrong.
A letter sent to the most powerful person in the state.
It's pretty clear that this letter was sent to the governor.
But to understand the significance of this letter, we need to explain the backstory involving money, political influence, and one of the state's most valuable natural resources.
How do you become a river pilot? I've asked people that, and they say you almost have to be born into it. So you have to be a family member. 3
river pilot groups help guide ships up and down the Mississippi River. The bar pilots from outside the mouth of the river to Pilot Town. The Crescent River pilots from Pilot Town to the city. And the New Orleans Baton Rouge steamship pilots, or NOBRA, take them from New Orleans to Baton Rouge. Last year, the average bar pilot made $586,000. Crescent $595,000, and NOBRA pilots averaged $633,000.
That's a lot of money. $500,000 a year for what they do.
A little-known state board, the Pilotage Fee Commission, essentially sets those salaries. Every few years, it approves what's called the target compensation, the amount of money each pilot should make every year. Every year since 2013, since this data for all 3 pilot groups has been publicly available, the pilot's average compensation has always exceeded the target pay. For example, in 2017, the Commission set the target compensation for the NOBRA pilots at $455,000. But again, the actual compensation averaged $633,000. $178,000 more than the target compensation. The river pilots are also able to earn additional money through a transportation tariff, traveling to and from work. Records show that can top $40,000 a year. Additional money going to the pilots.
Essentially, you're paying them to drive to work?
Yes.
Last year, the Crescent pilots sought an increase in the transportation tariff. Before handing over more money, the businesses that do work in the river wanted proof about why the pilots needed the increase. They wanted to examine all expenses, but the Pilotage Fee Commission, that little-known state board, said no and voted in favor of the pilot group.
They block you from even trying to get in to ask the questions.
Greg Bowser's Louisiana Chemical Association sued, and a Baton Rouge district judge recently ruled the commission was wrong. Judge Timothy Kelly asked, was that an abuse of the commission's discretion? I think that it was, adding they are basically deciding something without having all the knowledge they need to decide the situation. To refuse to accept that evidence or allow that evidence would be an abuse of the discretion of the commission. The Pilotage Fee Commission is made up of 4 river pilots, 4 members of the business or industry, and 3 at-large or independents.
The 3 independents seem to be the ones that make the difference.
So the independents are the key.
They're the key. They're the key on the board. Yeah.
And they're supposed to be true independents?
True independents. They're the governor's appointees.
State law says these independents need to be neutral parties. They can't be connected to the river pilots or the businesses. They essentially decide where each vote before the board goes, who wins, who loses, who makes money, who pays up.
Because they're the swing votes, if you will.
But they're not supposed to be tied to either industry or river pilots.
Correct. That's correct.
Governor Edwards appointed attorney Bruce Mohan, businessman Danny Kingston, and retired clerk of traffic court Noel Casanova to the board. Remember that vote on the transportation fee that ignited sharp criticism by a Baton Rouge judge? All 3 of these independents voted in favor of the river pilots.
Has there been a difference since these new independents have been on there?
Yeah, I think there's been a big difference.
We've spent several months investigating this commission. We've spoken to sources connected to the businesses and the river pilots. In speaking on the current commission, one person told us it's fixed. Another, the Pilotage Fee Commission has been corrupted. And it's a lock for the river pilots because the system has been manipulated. And that brings us back to this reaction.
Interesting.
And this surprise.
This is news to me.
We obtained this letter sent to Governor Edwards recommending 3 individuals to serve as the at-large members. The letter included their resumes and said, "You will find they would bring experience and diversity to the fee commission that will be very useful and efficient." The governor picked all 3 members to serve in the commission. The author of the letter, Captain Stephen Hathorn, the president of the NOBRA Pilot Group.
You would think that you would not want to pick someone that they're recommending, because I don't think they'd recommend somebody who would be opposed to what the New Orleans, what the Steamship Pilots Association want.
I mean, how independent are they if they're the handpicked of the NOBRA pilots?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question.
Shortly after the governor appointed one of the recommended commission members, Lenora Cousin, she quickly resigned from the commission. Casanova filled her spot. But look at the timeline. The river pilots wrote the letter on March 16th of 2016. 2 weeks later, the governor's director of boards and commissions sent the 3 an email asking them to fill out an application. The governor's office sent Bruce Mohan his email at 12:15. 33 minutes later, he emailed back his 4-page application. A week later, the governor appointed Mohan to the commission.
I guess the question is, how impartial do you think they're going to be if they're getting recommended by one of the pilot groups?
Well, the recommendations are going to come either from pilots or from commercial enterprises. So either way, the recommendation shouldn't taint the impartiality.
Several sources connected to the fee commission tell us prior at-large board members had no connection or recommendation from the pilot groups or business industry.
To my knowledge, that there's no industry group that recommended people that were asked to recommend folks to be appointed as independents. So it was only one side that got to have some input on who the independents were.
By the way, 8 months after writing the governor a letter, Stephen Hathorn, the president of the NOBRA pilots, donated $1,000 to the governor's campaign fund.
Should it not be on your administration to try to seek people who are truly independent and not take recommendations from either group?
Unless and until there's a credible allegation that these individuals lack impartiality, this is an academic discussion.
We have people on the record saying that they do lack impartiality.
Well, I'd like for them to come see me.
State law prohibits any ex parte communication between pilotage fee commission members and interested parties. When our camera showed up to the last board meeting, we found one of the independent commission members outside the boardroom, meeting with Stephen Hathorn and former State Senator Francis Heitmeyer, who is now a lobbyist for the NOBRA pilots. If they were talking board business, this meeting was likely illegal. When they spotted our camera, the meeting ended. It raises more questions about the actions of a pilot group and the impartiality of a board that may be giving a new definition of the word independent.
The independents were clearly on the pilot side.
Clearly on the pilot side.
Does that make sense why?
Well, that does make sense. And I was not aware of that document that you have. That I was not aware of that. So it makes sense.
The Crescent River pilots had no comment. The NOBRA pilots wouldn't do an on-camera interview, but Stephen Hathorn did tell us by email the governor's appointments to the commission have the highest ethical standards. We reached out to the independent commission members. None agreed to an interview.
Family, did you guys caught that? Now, one of the things that I find extremely disturbing with these politicians, either be it John Bell Edwards or these judges over here, they don't, when you reach out to them, outlining the corruption and exposing the corruption, they don't return calls, nor do they answer phone or put any light on the situation. They just tend to go dark. You know, it's like they vanish into thin air. It's like, I don't know, a goddamn vampire seeing sunlight. They just vanish. Now, here it is, we have a problem. Here it is, we have a problem. And a matter of fact, herein lies the problem. Herein lies the problem. The level of corruption here in New Orleans is so widespread and deep-rooted that the constitutional afforded, or the constitutional principle of check and balance is basically non-existent. No branch, or there is not one branch that is so pure or righteous to check any other branch here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. Nobody can point a finger and say, man, look, you're dirty, or you're doing something that is wrong, because the person who they are pointing the finger at, or would point the finger at, can point back and say, you're dirty just as much as I am. So, because this stream is so dirty. Now, again, look. We recognize that the goddamn stream is dirty from the head of the river. From the head of the stream. This is a trickle-down system when it comes on to corruption here. It's a trickle-down concept. This is one situation where it's not dirty at the bottom and flow to the top. No. It's dirty at the very top. At the very top it's dirty. We have judges. We have the chief, we have the chief, the father of the state, so to speak. The governor, who is goddamn at the top of the pinnacle, who is dirty and corrupted. We have Bernadette Johnson, the chief justice, Louisiana Supreme Court, who is dirty and corrupted. It's at the top. This is what we're dealing with here. It's at the top. We are dealing with dirty, corrupted politicians. When you have a judge, look, it's not just one no. This one reporting, investigative reporting, shine light on 4 judges. 4 judges. And this been going on for decades. This been going on for decades. When we speak about the issue of property tax, that's been going on for decades. When we speak about Errol G. Williams, he's been in office for decades. This ain't overnight. This ain't something that's just happening here in the territory of New Orleans, my brothers and sisters. Follow what I'm saying, man. It's deep-rooted. It's deep-rooted. We have politicians here in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana, who get convicted and serve time while they're in jail, while they're in office, right? And they come back out, and now they are knocking shoulder to shoulder with politicians who are presently in office. We had politicians who we the people were giving a salary to, who we recognize was commit atrocity while they was in office, who were sentenced to spend time in prison, right? Few of them come out right now and now is knocking shoulder to shoulder with people who is actually in elected office, right, serving in office right now. We was at the first city council. We was at the first city council meeting for this new administration, for Latoya Control administration. We was at the first city council meeting today. Right? We didn't stay long, because when we went to the when we went through the agenda, we went there to let our voices be heard, and the ABNB motion that was on the docket, and we recognized that it was at it was the second to last thing on the agenda. They know that it would generate so much attention that they put it way at the end. We're gonna stay. We know what time of day it is. We will have a next time to go there and talk about it. But we was there this morning. When we walk in, see that criminal J Banks, the council person for District B, giving out an award to, you know, this young lady, making mention that this was something that Latoya, while she was a council member, used to do. Right? Here we see J Banks. I am assuming that was his first official function as the council member, or as a council member District B. You know, and just by seeing him, we had so much disdain for that guy. Knowing that here it is, now he's serving on the Louisiana and the New Orleans City Council, and he is, to say the least, one of shady character. Shady character. We know for a fact that he broke the law according to the Constitution. He broke the law according to what every single person here in the territory of Louisiana is supposed to follow and abide by, for those of us who have property. No, we know that this, you know, the way they're applying the law really doesn't apply to us. But the fact that they are imposing this law or misapplying this law unto we the people, and they make reference to its authority when it comes down to certain things, as when it comes on to the homestead exemption, and that you can only have one homestead exemption, right, according to the Constitution, even though that, again, we understand the application is misleading and is wrong. But here we have it. We know that J Banks is no, man, you know, what can you do more than laugh? Here we have a J Banks who now sits on the New Orleans City Council. Look, knowing that he's of a shady character, knowing that he did things out there in his private capacity with the blessing of this same criminal, Errol G. Williams. Not only of Errol G. Williams, but with John Bell Edwards too. And when we contacted John Bell Edwards about it, or when John Bell Edwards was asked about the alleged or about the conduct or the action of a J Banks, you know what did that? You know what the governor said? Your governor said? Oh well, look, J Banks endorsed me when I was running for the governorship. So now I'm going to endorse him, or I have endorsed him, because that was what happened. John Bell Edwards endorsed J Banks for District B so that he could now be the council member for District B. John Bell Edwards endorsed him. Okay? And when he was asked about his endorsement of J Banks, his reply was, J Banks endorsed me when I was running for the governor, to the point where, a matter of fact, J Banks was at the governor's house having Christmas dinner and exchanging gifts. Look. We couldn't write a better story than this shit. We couldn't write a better, look, not even if we tried, we could come up with that. Look. So here we have it. The governor, John Bell Edwards, endorsed a J Banks. When asked why you endorsed J Banks after it's out there in the public arena that J Banks is breaking the law by having more than one homestead exemption, here goes this criminal actor, John Bell Edwards, stating, oh well, J Banks, and yes, we know J Banks endorsed you because we saw him at your house exchanging gifts and hugging your wife. We saw him. So you couldn't hide it. Right? Look, it was Stacey Head. It was, look, we ain't a fan of Stacey Head, you know. We ain't a fan of Stacey Head. She was the previous council at large and the New Orleans City Council before this new administration. And she went on the steps of the district court here in the territory of Orleans and said, look, we have people here, political actors who are paying to play. We have people here who is paying to be on the ballot, running for public office. It came straight from the horse's mouth. No, we know that to be true for a long time before she said it. You know, we are not looking for any confirmation from her. But it's good when we can hear statements like this coming from a person like a Stacey Head, somebody who is deeply tied in this whole political arena, criminal arena too. She ain't innocent or nothing, but we have to recognize certain statements when it comes from certain people to be factual. You see what I'm talking about? So, with a John Bell Edwards and a J Banks, what you find happening? One scratches the other back, one unwashes the other, one overlook one's criminal action or conduct. You see what I'm talking about? Nobody checking nobody. Nobody trying to disassociate themselves from nobody. Where is the outcry? Where is the soup? Where is, look, the Louisiana Constitution, listen to me carefully. The Louisiana Constitution authorized the Louisiana Supreme Court with supervisory authority over all judges. Over all judges here in the territory. Let's forget for a second this document right here. The Code of Judicial Conduct. Let's forget this document right here for a second, my brothers and sisters. The Code of Judicial Conduct, to which all judges should sign when signing the oath of office, that they receive a copy of this document. Let's forget this document for a second. Let's go to the law. What is the law? The Constitution. Let no one fool you. Let them kiss your ass with that revised statute and with the ordinance. The Louisiana Constitution, Article 5. Let's see if we can find it real quick. Article 5. Section 5. Let's read it for my brothers and sisters. This is what the law says. The law. You want to talk about the law? Let's talk about the law. We don't have to go to your institution of indoctrination to know what the law is. We don't have to be a member of that private organization, the Bar Association, to know what the law is. No. We know what the law is. Let me tell you right now, Bernadette Johnson, what the law is. And all you other criminals out there. Listen to Anthony Brown. The law. Louisiana Constitution. Article 5. Section 5. Supreme Court. Jurisdiction. Rule-making power. Assignment of judge. Section 5A. Supervisory jurisdiction. Supervisory jurisdiction. The Supreme Court has general supervisory jurisdiction over all. Did you catch that? Over all other courts. Over what? All other courts. So meaning on the appellant level, and on the district level, and on the parish and city level, all of the courts. This is the law. The Louisiana Supreme Court is the highest court within this territory. What more you want? Where is the supervisory intervention from people like, wait a, let's call the goddamn name, man. Where is the supervisory intervention from Bernadette J. Johnson, Greg G. Guthrie, Scott J. Cushion, James T. Genovese, Marcus R. Clark? Yes, I'm calling 5. I'm fully aware that there's 7. A matter of fact, that there's 7 justices. 1 Chief Justice and 6 Associated Justice. But these 5 that I've been calling are people who ain't supposed to be at the goddamn Supreme Court. Who's supposed to be fired, disbarred, and any pension that they are looking forward to revoked. We know that to be factual. These people right here don't abide by the rule of law nor the Constitution of Louisiana. We know that to be factual. We know that to be a fact. When we talk about fact or the truth, the proven truth, and this program, what are we talking about, family? The time is coming close to that end. What are we talking about? We're talking about that which is constant with facts and reality. That which is constant with facts and reality. Again, you may not like how we present ourselves on this show or this program. Why you don't have to watch it or listen to us? You can go somewhere else. That's the first thing. You have a choice. Secondly, if you think that anything that we say here, and again, that's the reason why we archive these shows. And some of the places that we archive these shows is on the YouTube at the Proven Truth, is on the Facebook and other places. But for the public to view, that's why we archive them. If you think that you can rebut anything that we are saying on this show, go ahead, try it, make my day. Prove us to be wrong or to be stating false. And if you can do that, we will take our black ass off this show and don't come back. My brothers and sisters, it's another time. Join us here. Join us here. Today's what? Oh man, today is Thursday. Look, join us Monday, same place, same time. 4 to 6. Anthony Brown, much love.
Dumb! Is there any remorse? We take your hand for those people you've dealt in the past. Those who came across your path, their life they've lost. Sure. And you replied, say, circumstances made me what I am. Was I born of